Turning Point USA is panicking. Turning Point USA, their whole MAGA pipeline machine, it's collapsing in real time. We are watching the fall of Turning Point USA. And I can't say that I hate to see it. It is their worst nightmare come to life. So imagine for a second, you build this massive political machine. And this political machine is designed to make everyone afraid of everything. You should be afraid of cities. You should be afraid of science. You should be afraid of public schools. You should be afraid of not giving birth and being married yesterday. Even if you're a 12-year-old, you should be afraid of literally everything except for things that you should actually be afraid of. Anywho, now what we're seeing is that whole paranoid mob that Turning Point USA fostered turned on Erika and the whole crew. So what started off as like a right-wing grift somehow snowballed into telling women, hey, we're going to completely make sure you know how to live your life as we suggest, meaning you better submit to a man, you better be a vessel for birthing, you better be in the kitchen, you better abandon all career aspirations. That's really their core messaging, is now spiraling into a total cult, a cult that also thinks like using soap is government propaganda. It's crazy. And I'm going to show you in this video the exact moment that Turning Point USA crumbles in front of us, where the whole jig is up. And we're going to look at who they're platforming in this moment and why those people are the wackiest people they could find.
Life, this world, it tries to tell you it's all about career. It's all about following those dreams. Guys can't carry kiddos. God made you to do that.
You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way, my wrath will be hot.
Be a savage.
Do not conclude that God is withholding marriage because you failed some spiritual test.
We have no law. We have no order.
And real quick, if you're new here, I'm Loren Piretra. We're in New York for a couple more days. Willa Piretra is taking a snooze. It was really hot today. And Willa and I hit the streets and she got her steps in. So we also currently have a lead on Katie Miller, as we have for a very long time. But that lead is never wide enough. Make sure every sub, every hype, every comment, 6 words or more, consider all those individual actions. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. All of those things help keep Katie Miller humble and help keep her from ruining everyone's lives and kidnapping their abuelas. Okay, so consider every action you take as an FU to Katie and Stephen Little Bitch Miller. Let's look at what's going on with Turning Point USA. They just had their Women's Leadership Summit, Turning Point USA Women's Leadership Summit, Empower Her. And we talked about this because what I found to be super weird is that, one, they're selling tickets to 11 and 12-year-olds, children, actual children, young girls. And like, if I was a mother, I would not want my child listening to Erika Kirk. Who knows what's going to come out of her mouth? It's just a little too culty for me. And they had people like Alex Clark, this woman who has no medical credentials whatsoever, who's known for spilling MAGA propaganda, as a headliner. And let's just take a look at this moment really quick. So Turning Point USA funds this podcast called Culture Apothecary. And Charlie Kirk recruited Alex to be in their network back in 2019. Nobody really knew who she was. She, again, zero medical qualifications like most of the health MAGA right-wing grifters. She's currently dominating the Spotify health charts. And what she does is she tells modern women that like life is just designed as a world meant to poison you. Her audience eats it up. And this is the same voter base that openly held their nose in order to vote for Trump so that way they can get RFK Jr. into the government. MAGA brain rot, full effect. She brings on guests who, I shit you not, openly brag about abandoning deodorant and brushing their teeth with raw milk kind of shit. And she's a self-described worm queen. So she loves the worms. When you get a stomach ache, blah, blah, blah. She wants people to believe her fabricated medical credentials and is always claiming that everyone's body is hijacked by parasites.
What are the odds that we aren't depressed or hungry? We just have parasites.
Huge. 95% of us. And they can control your mind.
Listen, I can be a little woo-woo. I can be very Eastern, Western healthcare, but I know my strengths and I know my credentials and I know how irresponsible it is to make medical claims to a community when science exists. When science exists and doctors exist, and I am neither. Today's episode is brought to you by Chapter. You know what's super unhinged? The way Medicare works, like, look, I spent 15 years inside of marketing machines, and I know the difference between a system built to help you and one built to confuse you. Medicare is the second one. Thousands of plans, conflicting information, never-ending spam calls. That's why you need to know about Chapter. Chapter is the only Medicare advisor that compares every plan nationwide. The doctors you like, the medications you take, your priorities. They use it all and they find a plan that actually fits your life. If you've already found the right plan, they'll tell you. And if not, they'll help you switch. Last year, seniors who found new plans with Chapter saved an average of $1,100 on healthcare costs. If you're turning 65 or already on Medicare, call Chapter at 424-292-6476. It's free. It takes under 20 minutes, and that's an express line. Seriously, just do it. 424-292-6476. She had a chiropractor on who recently sat in her studio and suggested that parents should put nicotine patches on their kids for their health.
Nicotine is known to medical science to be a curative agent and a preventative agent for Alzheimer's.
I knew you were going to say that next. I had a feeling.
That's the wildest echo chamber ever. So she goes on stage and announces this.
There's one thing I haven't told you guys. I'm engaged!
They really are pushing these young girls and these messages around, like, get engaged, submit to a man. That's your only purpose in life. Abandon your career. You don't need one of those. You just need a husband.
This is Alex's fiance. His name is Vance, and he seems to have a very minimal digital footprint, but he does have this Substack. It's called Running on Butter, and he wrote this piece about them. I read the Substack this morning, and, like, I'm sorry, but, like, this man hates her. Alexandra has a cute little health podcast called Culture Apothecary, which is sort of like a Temu version of Running on Butter. Over the years, I had listened to her grow as a thinker. If you think Alex is radically maha, I make her look like Ronald McDonald, or Grimace if you're a real one. Anyway, there's only a handful of videos of Vance that I could find online, so here's one from 2022.
People don't understand that what we do here is art. They don't understand.
So anyway, again, she's not a medical provider. She has no business making all these claims. Very lucrative scam for her. Turning Point USA builds this ecosystem because they love a grift. But this is where it stops looking accidental. Turning Point USA, in the thick of the leadership summit for women, Erika Kirk gets on stage. Looks like she has a new stylist. A little toned down for her usual sparkly cheer hair makeup look going on. And Erika Kirk gets onto the podium. As Erika Kirk is on the podium, 11 minutes in, a heckler commands the crowd.
But the joy of the Lord withstands all.
Erika Kirk protects pedophiles! Erika Kirk protects pedophiles!
Name the lie. Name the lie. Erika Kirk stands there, visibly thrown off. You could see her little brain thinking, oh, what character am I going to embody? How am I going to react to this? What persona am I going to adopt in this moment? And instead, she just keeps going.
It's important to remember that happiness comes and goes, and I pray that you find it.
But name the lie. Erika Kirk has been very vocal and unwavering in her support of Donnie Dump. She loves Donnie Dump. That's her boy. And even through the Schwartzstein files, which his name appears in hundreds of thousands of times. So with Trump basically being the Schwartzstein files, having more photographs with that man than I do with my own best friends, there's a lot of questions here. Listen, there are documented FBI tips from people who saying Trump with them when they were underage. Back in 2016, a woman actually filed a lawsuit alleging Trump was her at an Epsom property when she was 13. And she ended up withdrawing the case because she was terrified for her safety. We've seen what's happened with a lot of people who speak up about Schwartzstein. And it's not good. So it's a tough look for Turning Point USA to invite a bunch of children and 11-year-olds and young girls and actually offer them tickets, their own ticketing tier, and then this to happen. They love to dismiss their Schwartzstein files as unverified, very righteous standard for Erika Kirk and this crew of people who don't really seem to care about accuracy or science or truth. But it's not fringe. Erika Kirk is so loudly obsessed with protecting children, bringing them into her world so she can protect them. Protect them from what, Erika Kirk? So Her audience seems to just kind of like move on, and they're like, okay, that was awkward. But I'm curious if this is going to be the last we're going to see of people calling Erika out for her shit. We're going to keep digging in here. There's a lot coming up with Erika Kirk. Again, I'm Loren Piretra. Find us wherever you get your podcasts. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want more of, and we'll be back.